Hi friends. So today's video is going to be a little bit different. I have been wanting to talk to you guys about something that I have been dealing with since I was very little, and this is something that I'm not even sure how to even start talking about or what to talk about it, but I am just going to come out and say it. So I have emetophobia, and emetophobia is the fear of throwing up, the fear of vomiting, the fear. Some people that have it are afraid of everything that goes along with vomiting. Some people are just afraid of themselves vomiting. Um, for me, it's kind of a combination. My biggest fear is myself throwing up, like getting the stomach flu or getting food poisoning. My entire life revolves around avoiding those two things. And when I say my entire life, I mean every single thing that I do every single day um, always has the thought of preventing the stomach flu um, or preventing food poisoning. So I do not eat food that has been sitting out for very long. I don't take chances with food at restaurants if it's not cooked um, super well. I always get my steaks well done, extra well. I am very picky about where I will eat. I have hand gel with me everywhere, but actually hand gel doesn't kill norovirus, which is like pretty much where all stomach viruses come from, is noro, just different strains. And so I literally spend all of my time, energy, and anxiety focused on not getting sick. It has been something that has always been with me. I am trying to think of even when it started. I think it started probably, I have one particular memory of having the flu when I was really little. I was probably maybe 5 or 6, and I just remember throwing up like many, many times one night, and then after that, I remember being really afraid. And then in third and fourth grade, one of the boys in our class um, at school had a problem with throwing up. Like, he just did it. I don't know. It just happened once in a while. And sometimes in the mornings, he would throw up in our classroom. And it would just, the classroom would smell so bad. And I just remember getting to the point where I was afraid to go to school because I was afraid he was going to throw up. And so I would work myself up and I would get really sick myself, and I missed a lot of school because I was terrified that if I went to school that this boy was going to throw up and I was going to see it or smell it or hear it, and I couldn't handle that. As I got older, it morphed into more of my own personal fear of throwing up myself. And so now I just take, like I said, I take precautions everywhere. And I also, I mean, it sucks because it completely rules my life. Like, it dictates everything that I do. I have gone to therapy for it. I have done therapy in the past. I found out, like, basically, always been just part of my life, part of why I do everything that I do. Um, in my car, I carry around 91% rubbing alcohol because that is one thing that will kill norovirus. Regular hand gel won't, and so I use that everywhere I go. If I go to a grocery store and there aren't cart wipes to wipe the cart off with, I freak out, and half the time I won't get a cart. I'll just carry everything around. Um, I am super, like, if I know that somebody in the neighborhood has the stomach flu or it's going around, I tend to kind of retract and pull back and tend to stay home more. Even if it's somebody that's like 2,000 miles away that's telling me they have a stomach bug, I start to panic and worry that it's going around and, it could be somewhere and I could catch it, or my kids could catch it. My kids have had the stomach flu many, many times. I have cleaned up numerous amounts of vomit. I have been vomited on many, many times, and every time it happens, I wind up dealing or fighting with depression and super bad anxiety. That's even worse than my baseline anxiety, which is pretty bad. So, like a few months ago, my daughter woke up in the middle of the night and she threw up all over me, and she had the stomach bug, and it was just really hard. I just felt like super, super depressed because I go into crazy mode where I have to clean everything and bleach everything and disinfect everything and just basically wait for it to happen to me. And that waiting process is so, so hard because I just become so anxious, and people don't understand this. Like, they don't get emetophobia. They just think, oh, you know, whatever, just get over it. But it is seriously debilitating for me. Um, and it's even weird for me to talk about it because I know that to some people it's going to sound strange or weird, or, um, you know, like there's so many worse things that you could have. But for me, I have never been able to get over this fear. Um, I was just gonna say how long it's been since I last threw up, but I don't wanna say because I don't wanna jinx it. How weird is that? Um, I have gotten the stomach flu several times and have not thrown up, but it's it's horrible. Like, I can't, I wish I could put into words just how debilitating it is. Right after my husband and I were married, I wound up getting really, really sick, and I wound up becoming anorexic and being diagnosed with anorexia. I got down to 97 pounds, which for me was really, 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 really skinny. Um, I started having a lot of health problems, and I refused to leave the house, and it was because I was terrified I was going to throw up. So I wouldn't leave the house. I survived on saltine crackers for several months. Um, Literally, that's all I ate. And because it was safe, because there was no chance of it going bad or me getting food poisoning from it, I wanted so desperately to eat, and I couldn't because the fear had gripped me. I became super, super depressed. I couldn't I couldn't do anything. I couldn't function. I felt like at the time I lost a lot of friends because of it. I had some friends that stuck with me through it, um, and would come and visit me and not judge me, but it was really intense, and it got to the point where my parents actually intervened and made me go see a doctor, who told me I needed to eat. He didn't understand emetophobia at all. He didn't understand like why I couldn't just eat. He thought it was because I thought I was fat, and I didn't. Like, that wasn't at all. Like, it wasn't true anorexia. It was I couldn't eat because I had such extreme anxiety from being afraid of throwing up. So, um, after that, I actually wound up um, seeing a therapist and seeing another doctor who prescribed me antidepressants, and that was really the beginning of that, and the therapist that I saw, where I started to be able to live a little bit more. Um, I started to be able to eat and get healthier, and then shortly after that, it was like maybe 6 months after that, was when I got pregnant with my first child, with my daughter, and um, it was kind of a game changer. Like, it was no longer about me, and I wanted a baby more than anything in the world. And so my focus and my energy and everything went to keeping the pregnancy healthy. I had severe morning sickness, but I never threw up because I just held back. Um, and so, I mean, ever since then, I have been able to kind of fake it. Like, people know that I don't like to throw up, but they don't understand the um, the intensity and the lengths I go to avoid throwing up, um, or how it makes me feel when I hear somebody say they have a stomach bug or they've been throwing up. It literally puts me on alert, and I just become a super high-strung, anxious, nervous person. Um, I have never flown in a plane. I'm afraid to because I'm afraid I'm going to get sick. I don't go on roller coasters. I don't like other people driving cars. I don't like people driving me. I have to drive. Um, there's so many things that like are part of this whole icky thing, and um, I hate it. I don't want to live with it. I have tried lots of different types of therapies to try to cure myself, and none of them have been successful. I had to have my gallbladder removed several years ago, and I remember the night before I had to have surgery. I was so depressed and I was crying, and it wasn't because I was afraid I was going to die or anything was going to go wrong or anything like that, or the pain or anything. I was terrified the anesthesia was going to make me sick, and the anesthesia was going to make me throw up. And so that was my biggest, that terrified me. I need to get a ton of dental work done, and I'm terrified because I'm afraid they're going to suggest that I need to be put under so that they can do it all. And so there's just, like I said, there's so much. I remember after my surgery being in recovery, and they were trying to give me more medication through the IV, and I refused it because I was afraid that the pain medication was going to make me throw up because I hadn't eaten anything, and so I refused it. So I remember just being in so much pain that entire day, laying in a hospital bed and just writhing in pain, but I could not. I'd rather take that pain than throw up and deal with being nauseous and throwing up. It's just how my brain works. I don't know. It's really bizarre, but it has stopped me from doing so many things. It stops me from going out with friends. It stops me from just enjoying life more, taking chances. All of it just freezes me in place. And so, yeah, that's what it's like living with emetophobia. It's horrible. It's all encompassing, and it doesn't stop. It doesn't take a break. I I don't know. I don't know how to make it better except for just working on all of me, working on my own self, working on really coping with my anxiety, and fighting through my depression. And this whole next year, I really want to focus on being a better me, inside out. And so, not just working on, fitness and losing weight, although that is like in the top category up there, but I also want to work on my own self, and because I want to be able to be successful in life and in my business. I have things that I want to do that are going to force me out of my comfort zone, and I need to be ready for that. And so I really want to get better. I want to get past this fear. I feel like if I could get over this phobia, I could conquer the world, because everything that has stopped me, I mean, my phobia has been what has stopped me from doing pretty much everything that I've ever wanted to do that I haven't yet done. And so I want to get past that so that I can do the things I want to do. I want to be able to travel and to go places, but I'm terrified because I'm afraid I'll get sick on the plane. I'm afraid it'll make me sick. I'm afraid food I'll eat somewhere will make me sick. So, anyways, that is what it's like living with emetophobia. If you have a similar story, or if you are dealing with emetophobia at all, please leave it in the comments below. If you have questions or comments, just please be kind and sympathetic. This is not something that I have even shared with a lot of people. So I don't even know if my husband understands like how intense it is. So anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. I know it's kind of different, but I hope you guys have an awesome day, and I will see you in my next video.